We're doing a thing.
We're doing a thing. It's a thing that I didn't think a year ago that we would be doing. So originally with the rig, we were just towing the car. I use the Ready Brute Elite 2 on the car. The car has a base plate installed. And we did Colorado to Virginia and then Virginia down here, and we have not had the car hooked up since then. Since that time, we got new bikes for everybody, or new used bikes for everybody.
Little kids, and they were saying, "Look at her." They were watching me do some cool tricks.
You were doing some cool tricks. Brooke can ride with standing and without her hands.
So originally we just had this. I had to put a 10-inch drop because the front of the car is really low, and the Ready Brute Elite has to be, I think it's within 2 inches of horizontal. And so in order to get from the stock hitch height here to that 2 inches of horizontal on the car, I had to special order a 10-inch drop because people don't stock these things. Like, the 10-inch drop is ridiculous. I mean, it's ridiculous. But since then, we have added bikes to the equation. Neither the van nor the car have a hitch on the back. Really don't feel like adding one just for bikes to either of those because they both have lift gates in the back, and that just gets annoying. So we had them on the rig. I have this just straight into the receiver. I've had it that way for months, probably 6, 7, 8 months now. But we're planning on taking the car with us this summer, not the van, because we want to tow the car. And Aaron and I have talked a lot about having the kids in the motorhome. And now that they're big enough to just be in boosters, we think it'll be all right.
We'll talk about that at a later time.
We'll talk about that. We'll get it. We'll dive. We'll do a deep dive. We'll sit down and have some adult conversations about that. Later this month.
Yeah.
But for now, we want to tow the car, have everybody in the rig, and have the bikes. So I had to order this, I guess, dual hitch, and I'm going to have to get a couple more of these locks, just because locks keep people honest. Yeah, this is the first time putting it together. The reason that we're doing this kind of dry fit just on a random Wednesday evening is because...
I want to eat outside.
What do you want?
I want to eat something outside.
You want to eat something outside? What do you want to eat outside?
There's a lot of grass.
You have some rocks? Some grass?
Can I eat rocks?
No.
No?
I want to eat inside food.
You want to eat inside food outside?
No. Yeah.
Yes.
I was waiting for it to catch up in his brain.
The reason we're doing this dry fit is because the first one of these we ordered, I had to wait, I think it was like a week and a half for it to ship. It was not on Prime shipping, probably because it weighs like 25 or 30 pounds. And the first one that came, the cross holes, I have a photo of it, which I will put in here. The cross holes were not drilled straight across. So with nothing in the tube, I could get a pin lock through, or a hitch pin through. But as soon as I put my towing system in there, which had a true hole, I couldn't get a pin all the way through. So I had to send it back, get another one, and it arrived the day before we left Colorado. That was really like, and we could not leave Colorado without that. There was nowhere local to get a 10-inch drop. So we were just sitting there hoping that this Amazon box would show up. And it did. It showed up the day before. The hole was drilled straight across. Everything was great. The bike hitch is super, super like true square. And this is a little bit rounded on the inside, enough to the point where this wouldn't go in. Because I originally was going to carry the bikes around to get them away from the rig and up a little bit higher. I was going to put the drop in upside down as a riser, but I couldn't do that. So yeah, not all hitch holes are created equal.
Hitch holes.
Hitch holes.
Okay.
Yes, not all hitch holes are created equal. So I'm happy. Everything fits. Everything goes together. Aaron pulled the camera out right as I was about to put the ready brake in, so let me go ahead and do that.
Yeah.
Or the ready brute. I always say it wrong.
Ready Brute Elite 2.
Ugh. The heavy boy. Ugh. It's a shin knocker too.
Yeah. Almost. Almost.
Oh, farther?
Yep. Keep going. Good, good, good. Oh, too far. Good.
I'll grab a pin. So speaking about hitch locks, I like this one. It's the only one I've really used, but I like the way that it connects. It just has a keyhole, and you can't take it out. But with the key in, you can spin it. And the trick with these, they're really kind of frustrating. Hold the key and spin the other side.
Mm-hmm.
Because all that key is doing is it's keeping that bolt from spinning. Because without the key in there, that bolt just is free and spins and doesn't come off. So you can't put it together or take it apart without the key in. I currently have 2. I think I'm just going to go ahead and buy 2 more.
It's not exactly in the right spot.
I know, this,
Okay.
I remember.
There it is.
Yeah, it took some twisting. So with the key in, I basically set the key on that side. And this one, because there's a lot of weight on it, you can also spin the key to to turn the bolt. That was fast. Yep. So that's that. So that's everything together. Obviously without the car on it.
Yeah, but I think we're gonna do a dry
up.
run with the car this
This
weekend.
comes up, you take that pin out, that comes down, these attached to the front of the car, you know.
It's a whole thing.
It's a thing.
Tara has emerged.
Tara has emerged.
Hi, Tara. Where you going? Oh, I wanted to tell you something.
What?
So this summer,
Yeah.
when we're driving like around with the summer caravan and stuff, we won't have the van, we'll have the car.
Behind the rig.
We're all gonna ride in the rig. And then when we go places,
We'll just
we'll
pack it
all
in
be
the car.
packed into the car.
There it is.
That's what I was looking
That's
for.
what we were waiting for.
That was it.
So there is one thing that you guys haven't seen, but our patrons have, our Roadrunners. We finally added a travel map to this rig. In our first RV, we did all 48 states in less than 2 years. So we weren't super quick to get a new map. We weren't sure how to do it. We didn't know if we wanted to keep this one or whatever. So we came up with this idea of kind of celebrating our first travel map with RV number 1, and then RV number 2, we've got this one going. And what's our criteria for the new map?
We have to spend a night in the rig in that state.
Okay.
Before, it was just we had to visit it on our travels.
And do something,
Yeah,
like have a
and do
meal
something,
or...
some activity. We went bowling in one place.
Right, yep. Yep.
We had a meal in another. So this one is just, we have to stay in the rig overnight. So a couple of these states, like we didn't stay in North Carolina or Georgia or West Virginia or even Missouri
Or
when we were
Missouri,
coming
yeah.
across. We
Yep.
stayed in all of those other places.
Yeah,
though,
but we did some boondocking in Colorado.
We also stayed at a KOA in Colorado.
That's right, we did. In Kansas, we did stay in a rest stop, which was really nice.
Yes.
And then Kentucky was a Walmart. Virginia, we spent time visiting family. South Carolina was
A Thousand Trails.
And then we've been all over Florida,
Yeah.
a whole bunch of different places. So this summer, this general area here
yeah.
is gonna light up pretty quick.
And we have a bunch of Roadrunners that are coming on our summer caravan. You're going to
Yep.
hear us talking about it all summer.
Yep. There's gonna be a lot of
If you
videos.
want to join us, if you live in any of those little states there and you want to join us, just check out Five2Go.com/Roadrunners and you can check out the summer caravan.
Yeah. It's gonna be fun. It's
Yes,
gonna be good times.
it is.
I'm
I'm
I'm looking forward. I know we'll talk about it more about why we're gonna put the kids in there.
Yeah.
But I am kind of excited about taking that and
Yeah.
having you as my co-pilot again.
Yeah.
Because as much as I have enjoyed not having the littles,
They're not as little anymore.
Yeah, it's been 2 years since I've, maybe more.
Towed with them?
No, because we picked up the van in October 2018. So it
yeah.
has been 2.5, more than 2.5 years since I have driven an RV with the kids in the same vehicle.
Yeah.
So
Truck or RV.
yeah.
Yeah, so it'll be fun.
will.
We'll see what happens. I know Tara is probably going to be sad to lose her co-pilot spot or navigator spot.
I think
don't know that she's the best navigator though,
No, not at
especially
all,
since we'll be
no.
going to places we've never been before.
Yeah.
So
And you're gonna bounce back and forth. Like you'll be with the littles and you'll be up front. After the summer, we have some more information for our Roadrunners.
We have some things in the works.
Yeah. So we're gonna tell them. Y'all are gonna have to wait though.
Sorry.
Sorry.
We run it through them first to kind of get a feel for whether or not.
No, we forge our own path.
Well, we do forge our own path. We get good suggestions from our Roadrunners about whether those are good ideas. So we like to run it through our Roadrunners, and they kind of give us some feedback on it, and it's good. So
we have some pretty big news for after the summer that we'll be sharing with them quite soon, and you guys will find out when it happens, I guess.
What could it be? It's Wednesday, inevitably every Wednesday night after dark,
normally after midnight,
when it's raining, usually
it's normally pouring, or really cold,
the black tank gets full.
And we know because we have the vacuum flush toilet and the pump that refills it. This thing, it's a pump. It's actually, it's funny. Inside there's little things called duckbills that do this.
I was going to say, I don't know what pump this is.
What is this?
And so, the light will turn red. And so we know that we can't use the vacuum flush because the black tank's full.
Yeah,
so,
but it's Wednesday.
Did you want to pull the black?
It's normally, well, I had a tip. If you're somewhere for multiple days, like we're here for 2 weeks,
please don't ever stand on there.
We always leave your black tank closed. Because if you don't, all the liquids will drain out, the solids will remain, and you'll have what's called a poop pyramid. You don't want one of those. You don't want to have to pay someone to take care of one of those. So always leave your black tank closed unless you are actively emptying it. What we're doing right now is on Wednesdays is when it normally happens. It's normally 3 to 4 days, so like Wednesday and Saturday or Wednesday and Sunday, we will come out and empty the black tank. It's a very easy process, but my tip is close your gray tank before. Make sure you close the gray valve.
Why should we close gray when you open and empty black, Brian?
Because when I open this, that hose is going to fill up, and it doesn't always drain as fast as the tank will empty, so it'll the water will kind of collect and back up into the hose system.
Yay.
So if gray is open in this rig, it's basically a Y where black is over here and gray is over here. If you have gray open and it starts to back up into the black tank, it's going to back up into your gray tank too. Not a huge deal, but it could introduce funk into that tank. It could produce more smells or whatever. So close everything else, empty your black tank, close your black tank, and then reopen gray if you want to. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to close gray. It's kind of gross down there, but see, my gray handle is here and my black handle is here, and the gray just kind of comes down into a Y. So I'm just going to close gray because we leave it open so we don't have to worry about dishes and showers and all that. And then I'm going to open black, and then you see how it's filling back up into the hose. It'll glug in a second here. There we go. So now the water's coming the right direction. So if this had been open, it is possible for this water to have gone up into the gray tank through here. So, and always, before you do that, just do a little visual, oh, that's still connected. Oh, that's still connected. That's still, like, everything's still tight because they just had guys come through here and they did edging and they did mowing, and kids and animals and other adults. Someone could knock into it, and I don't know if I would expect them to fix it.
Probably
like, I would hope that someone would tell me something happened and I could fix it.
Yeah.
But you never know. So I always just do like a visual inspection. I did that before I was on the camera with you. Welcome to the next morning. We had a chance to run over to Camping World so I could get 2 more of our locking hitch pins. The ones that I like, that I've been using, and now I have 4 of them, are this style here. They just work really well. They have a nice small cylinder. The keys work easy. There's nothing big and bulky hanging off the end of it. They're great. The issue now is I have 4 of them, and that means I have 4 sets of keys, and the keys all pretty much look the same. So I decided to go ahead and color code them. So Erin gave me some nail polish, and I've been sitting here trying to power through the fumes, but I've got everything color coded, and they're some fancy colors. So we've got a sparkly red, a nice dark purple, a lavender, and a dark blue. So the keys, I just did a stripe. Let me do the blue ones are the driest. So I did a stripe on either side, so both of the keys, no matter what side you're looking at. And then on the cylinder itself, I just did a stripe on either side. So no matter which way it's in there, if we need it, we'll be able to see what color it is. So, got my nice pretty keys now. I'm gonna go ahead and head back outside and get everything buttoned up. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, and 4. One of them is missing a cap. I have no idea when it disappeared, so I decided to put this one on the one furthest from the ground to figure the least amount of grime and whatever from the road will get up to the top here. Plus, the bike rack will be the thing taken off the least, probably. I could have put it back there, I guess. I don't know. I can always move the caps around if I see dirt in a specific area. But yeah, that's all of this ridiculousness is done now. So we're ready to flat tow the car again. But I have one more little project today. So I'm going to put away my towing stuff here, all my fancy keys, and then we'll do that other project real quick. All right, the next project is to fix the screen door. You see this blue painter's tape here? I've got that taped on there to keep this depressed so we can actually open and close the door, because see how there's no lock key in there? Hi back there. There's a little plastic piece in between that does some actuation in here, and the plastic piece bent and broke, so I had to get a whole new handle assembly, which I have inside right here. So I'm just going to kind of piece this guy back together, and should be all good to go. The part that broke is this part here. It's not plastic, but it's like kind of a real cheap little metal. Basically this just got bent and snapped. I don't know if the kids did it from slamming the door, or if it just, you know, was in there for 6 years or 5 years or whatever. So I gotta piece this stuff back together. Okay, so this was the culprit piece. This is the old broken one, and apparently the new ones, you cut them to length to work with how wide your door is. So I just grabbed it with a pair of pliers and it snapped right off at the same length. So I'm going to put all this stuff together and we'll see if it works. Alright, very simple, straightforward install. Just kind of put it all together, put 2 screws into it, and so the door latches no problem. To open it, push that. On the door here, there's a little latch handle, grabs onto that, and then there's some padding in here that depresses the button, keeps that, so this doesn't latch on there when the big door closes. Yep, all done. Alrighty, that's it. Couple little projects, just kind of some normal daily stuff. It is very handy to be handy. I am certainly not like at the level of a general contractor or anything, but I know my way around some tools, and I carry around, you know, a pretty full set of tools. So owning one of these things, you definitely should be comfortable with basic tools. It's nothing fancy. You know, you can always pay someone to come fix your rig, but you know, you always kind of hear horror stories about what those things cost, and also people having to put their rigs in a shop and wait for weeks and weeks and months sometimes. So, you know, small stuff like that. Hitch stuff is real easy. It's very straightforward. Just watch your weights, watch your limits, and stuff like the broken door lock, slide toppers, furniture, you know, all this stuff like that. It's really not that hard. So I urge you to take a crack at it first yourself, if you're comfortable with it, because you'll save a lot of money and a lot of time for sure. Alrighty, and with that said, I will see you guys in the next episode. We are gearing up to hit the road in this thing just about, I think it's a month from yesterday. We will be hitting the road for a very long summer trip with some of our Roadrunners. We're doing a caravan all up and down the middle of the country. So hopefully we will see some of you there. And if not, we'll see you in the next episode. Bye, guys.